For us, it goes back to quite a journey, back to 2011 really, where we all recognised the need to actually collaborate and as community groups come together. Restore Taranaki is actually the umbrella about which sits over all of us. For community groups, what's important is that we can get, I guess you could say, its strength around helping each other, being more connected to each other, and that's really important for us as we create corridors for our biodiversity. We can't do it alone, and so the Restore Taranaki actually gives us that the glue that brings us all together, I guess is the best way of describing it.
For Fish and Game, it's about working together with all the other partners in Restore Taranaki to make sure that our rivers, streams, wetlands and all the species that live in them are really thriving. We've been involved with a lot of collaborative work with landowners who are keen to protect and enhance their wetlands. So we have projects in conjunction with the Regional Council and the Kiwi2 National Trust and landowners to protect, enhance and create wetlands. I think we've really turned a corner with water quality as well. A lot of the indicators are starting to trend in a positive way. We're a strong advocate for improving fish passage along our waterways to improve habitat connectivity. We're certainly only one cog in the whole system. Working together with all the other groups just increases capacity. There's such great work being done by member groups. It just adds to the whole impetus of the Restore Taranaki project. So it's really critical to work together towards shared goals.
Taranaki needs to be restored because we've got this large volcano surrounded by sea. There's a lot of marine organisms there, and what happens on the land influences the sea. Namutu Marine Reserve Society is really interested in restoring the marine environment, and we think that marine reserves are part and parcel of that, because you can do science in a marine reserve and see how an untouched area compares to other areas. We're really excited with running various projects such as experiencing marine reserves with the schools, and now we're running Finding Little Blue, which is investigating where penguins have burrows and are producing chicks, and we want to know how well they're getting on.
The vision for Ngāti Tama for Parenini is to see a healthy forest with healthy populations of birds and all the taonga species within that area. My part as kaitiaki of the whenua and the land is to do the work, the mahi that is needed to protect those species, and the work involves eradicating the threats, which are the pests, the rats, the stoats, the possums. I would say the biggest achievement for Ngāti Tama in this area is the return of kōkaku to the area. We became part of the Wild for Taranaki team because to achieve the goals of Restore Taranaki, it would be way better to work collectively towards that. We can learn off each other. We've got strength when we work collectively.
The Kiwi2 Trust is involved with private landowners to work alongside them to enhance the values on their properties, to fence, to protect bush, wetlands, any open space values such as coastal areas as well, and that allows for the wildlife habitats to improve and gives areas for these species to survive and actually increase. 18 years ago we had 80 covenants involving 1,400 hectares, and now we've got 385 covenants, which covers 8,500 hectares. We work alongside landowners, so they want to be on board. We help with fencing and also involved other agencies as well, so we coordinate the whole project. We put the legal covenants in place so that once the areas are fenced, they're protected forever, so a new landowner comes in, it stays in place. And also it opens up additional funding to enhance the sites, such as plantings like around these fence lines. The skill knowledge of Wild for Taranaki is huge when you consider all the different groups that are involved. The whole collective group is really important to move further ahead than what we have just been doing in the past, which is just basic fencing and looking at weed control, but we can actually look further into it now.
Well, this is a park, private park, and it's got multiple layers. It's to do with New Zealand plant material, but it's also to do with heritage. It's where the Battle of Wairika was waged between Pakeha and Maori, but it also is an environment that we are establishing for New Zealand plant material. And in that respect, we've got more than 100 species of New Zealand trees here. And in total, 250,000 to date, and now we're heading for 1 million. If you took a Landsat of New Zealand at the moment in Taranaki, you see bush remnants getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and we should be doing the opposite. We should be saying that we're getting more and more areas restored. And I think we could develop Taranaki to be an oasis in New Zealand of a really good environmental restoration. And Taranaki is the best place to grow trees in New Zealand. There's nowhere better in terms of the environmental conditions for growing trees. This will become open to the public, of course, when we get it better established, and it'll get better and better year by year by year. You want to come back here in 50 years' time and it'll be pretty spectacular. In 100 years' time, even more so.